Hey kids, it's Teacher Jess. I hope you guys are all doing well. Now, I know most of you guys are in school, so remember to have patience. Those that are still in school, keep on going. You're almost there. For those that finish, congrats! You did it. Now, I have finished Oxnard College and I graduated yesterday. So, class of 2020, woo-hoo! Now, today's lesson is going to be brought to you all by Teacher Flora. Teacher Flora is going to share a story, and I want you guys all to be paying close attention because I have a couple questions for you all to answer at the very end. Now, the Bible verse is going to be found on Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. One more time. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Now it says this: trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. One more time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Thank you. Now, I want you guys all to remember that God is always with you. And pay close attention because Teacher Flora has an awesome story for you.
Hi guys, it's Teacher Flora, and today I'm going to be giving you guys your lesson. So first off, I hope you guys are all doing okay. I hope you guys are staying safe and social distancing. So today I want to give you guys your verse first, and then I'll start off with the lesson. So just in case you guys want to look at your Bibles while I'm teaching, this story is going to be from 1 Kings 18, and your verse of the day is Proverbs 3, 5 through 8. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not in your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. So in this verse, I chose it because I kind of felt like that's what Elijah was doing in this story. So Elijah did not trust in his own understanding, like, knowledge, like just knowledge that we would think, like, how is this going to happen? This isn't how it works, like science, math, that doesn't make sense, So that's not what Elijah thought. He trusted in God, and because he knew that He was the God of God, that He does the impossible. So in this story, it starts off with King Ahab. So King Ahab is the king of the Israelites for now, and he is not a good king. He is very bad. He hated God. And so he's decided to try to confuse all the Israelites that way that they can worship a different god named Baal. So what he did was to worship Baal, and he hated everyone who still worshipped God and disobeyed Him. So God, knowing that King Ahab was disobeying God's commandments, He decided to punish him with drought. So the whole land, they had no crops, they had no animals, they had no water, they had nothing because there was just a shortage of food because of the drought. And King Ahab was questioning things. He was like, why is this happening? So Elijah went up to him, and King Ahab automatically knew who he was. He recognized him as the worst of all prophets, because to Ahab, he was a bad one, but in reality, Elijah was just a prophet of God. He was being good. So Elijah challenged King Ahab, and he said, if your God is so real, then tell your God to set fire to a sacrifice up in Mount Carmel. And if my God is real, then He will set fire. But whichever one sets fire, we will worship that one. No more of having two gods. And King Ahab agreed. So he brought all of their false prophets up to the mountain, and they all gathered around. So it was all of the false prophets of Baal, and then it was just Elisha for God. So considering there was more of them, Elisha let them do their thing first. So first they laid down the rocks and then the wood, and then they picked out a bull to cut up the meat and then put as their sacrifice. So all the false prophets, they screamed out to God. They sang, they danced, they cut themselves even because they were getting so frustrated because they got no responses considering their God was not real. So they spent a whole morning and then a whole evening. And then at the end, Elijah was starting to be like, okay, I don't think you guys are getting it, but your God isn't real. So he started making fun of them a little bit. He was like saying like, oh, your God, maybe he can't hear you. Maybe he's in the restroom. Sing louder. You know, he was trying to make fun of them a little bit. But at a certain point, Elisha started saying like, okay, enough is enough. My turn. So he took over, and then he made his he chose his bull. He made his altar. So after all of the praying that went on with the other guys, no fire had come down. So he was about to show them like who our God is. So not only did he make his altar, but he also dug a ditch around it. So he also dug a ditch, and then he also had people bring jugs and jugs of water and pour it over the meat and everything. So it was so much water that the ditch that he had dug around it was overflowed with water. So most people would think, oh, logic says that cannot be set on fire, but God says otherwise. So Elijah had faith in God, and he didn't think of what all the people were saying. He thought of what God had said. So because God is so good and he keeps his promises, once Elijah started praying, he automatically sent fire from heaven. He struck the altar and he scorched everything around it. So after that, all of the people, all the false prophets, they saw that our God was the real God, and that Baal was a false god. So they immediately repented, and they were worshiping God, and they were just continuing to like love our God. And they saw what they were doing was wrong. So then Elijah went after the false prophets and killed them because he didn't want them to go on any longer. Anyway, so moral of the story is Elijah had faith in God, and he kept his faith throughout it all, no matter what happened, and no matter what he might have thought in his head. He had faith in God. So that's what we need to do in these tough times. No matter what we see around us, how hard it may be, we need to keep our faith, because we know that God can do the impossible and that he is with us at all times. So I just hope you guys are having a good day, and I hope you guys remember this lesson. Remember your verse of the day, Proverbs 3:5-6.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. Now, I have 3 questions for you all to answer. The first question is, what book from the Bible can you find today's lesson? One more time. What book from the Bible can you find today's lesson? Now, one of the hand motions I'm going to share with you is Bible. If you can all follow along. Bible. Bible. Awesome. Second question is, what is the name of the prophet Teacher Flora spoke of? What is the name of the prophet Teacher Flora spoke of? Our second hand motion is I love you. You can all go like this, thumb on your chin towards you. I love you. Nice. And our last question is, what did God send for everyone to prove he is the true God? One more time. What did God send for everyone to prove he is the true God? Was it air, rain, or fire? Let us know. Now, our last hand motion is thank you, Lord. You can all follow along. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's hand motions and that you guys stay tuned for next week's lesson. Take care, stay safe. Bye.